Fellow Gambians, I do not usually send out a message to commemorate our independence anniversary, but I feel obliged to do so for several reasons. So, a happy 56th independence anniversary to you all. This year, the United Democratic Party will also commemorate its 25th anniversary. It is a year in which we anticipate that on the 4th of December 2021, victory will be ours, inshallah. Today, I want to remind us all of the struggle our fathers and forefathers waged for us to be where we are now. To remind us of the strong message that is emboldened in our national anthem. A message that should remind each and every one of us in our every thinking moment what the Gambia, our homeland, is and should mean to us. The words that all may live in unity, freedom and peace each day. The words, let justice guide our actions towards the common good. The words, and join our diverse people to prove man's brotherhood. And the words, we pledge our firm allegiance, our promise we renew, should always be at the back of our minds that this Gambia, our homeland, is our identity and our birthright. My message to you all today is a message of renewed hope, a message of unity, a message of peace, a message of oneness and togetherness, and a message of patriotism above all else. Fellow Gambians, each day we hear the news of our sisters and daughters losing their lives while giving life. Each day we hear of our sons and daughters dying in foreign lands, being deported back home unceremoniously, or drowning because they dared to cross the Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea to look for greener pastures. Each day, we hear the cries of our mothers, our wives, our sisters about the high cost of living and the inability to feed their children. And each day, we see our sons and daughters cursing each other, swearing at each other, discriminating against each other on tribal and religious lines. Never in the history of our homeland have we endured such polarization as in the past few years. Ours was a close-knit society of tolerance, a society of sutra, and a society of social cohesion. Some of us have been privileged to have a taste of what that social cohesion and social inclusiveness was and how it felt. Unfortunately, our children and grandchildren have not been fortunate enough to enjoy that beauty amongst us. I call upon all of us who knew what it felt like to share and show those who were not lucky to witness that era what it feels like to belong, to be one, to be our brothers and sisters keepers, our neighbors keepers, and to live in harmony. It is unfortunate that those born during the late 1980s to date have not witnessed this beauty. It is unfortunate that the regime that brought in the military junta broke the chains of ethnic and religious tolerance and instilled hatred and contempt amongst us. It even fostered regional rivalry in the country, all in an effort to divide and rule us politically. We are Gambians first, and we must remember that. We promise and commit that a UDP government will bring back that sense of patriotism and oneness in our society. We promise that there will be zero tolerance for tribal, ethnic, and religious division. There is no Mandinga Gambia. There is no Fula Gambia. There is no Wolof Gambia. There is no Jola Gambia. There is no Manjago Gambia. There is no Sarakule Gambia. There is no Kombo Gambia. There is no Badbu Gambia. There is no Fonyi Gambia. There is no Nyani Gambia. There is no Fuladu Gambia. There is no Muslim Gambia. And there is no Christian Gambia. There is only one Gambia. Tribalism has no place in our society, and we should never allow anyone to use tribalism to draw religious boundaries in our country and communities. Such dangerous messages are a recipe for national disaster, and we should expose those who use such divisiveness for their personal gains. Is there any Gambian who does not have relationships across all the ethnic groups? We all have brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces, uncles, aunts, and cousins who are of other ethnicities. This is what Gambia is made of. It will continue to be its DNA. Our priority as a nation is to put our efforts and energy on creating a conducive environment for our people to grow, especially the youth. Our priority should focus on ensuring that every Gambian child receives quality education and is equipped with necessary skill sets to live to their full potential and be able to fend for themselves and their families after their training. Our priority should be to ensure that the average Gambian lives in dignity and is able to put food on the table and feed their family, that we are able to eat healthy and nutritious food, that food security and agriculture thrives in this country, not just for local consumption, but as a viable business venture, where farmers are well equipped with the necessary tools and opportunities fit for the 21st century farmer. Our priority should focus on ensuring that our health center and hospitals is fully equipped to serve each and every one of us, irrespective of one's social status, that our health professionals are equipped and motivated to serve us ethically and with professionalism as they should, that we do away with water and energy costs that has haunted this country for almost 50 years, and that we are able to fully engage in this global village with reliable and affordable internet connectivity and other 21st century amenities that the world take for granted. Never in the history of this country would we have ever imagined that our small and beautiful smiling coast will be associated with the drugs and arms trade. Never. We must not stand aside and condone this reputational and real damage that will affect our communities and generations yet unborn, just for selfish interests of few corrupt individuals. This is not the Gambia we knew before. We all have to strive to build a diverse and cohesive country with all hands on deck. We invite all progressive and patriotic Gambians to join us to transform this country into a modern and thriving country. We have the human resources to do that. Let us have the will and commitment to do it. UDP invites all progressive Gambians to join us in this quest. Let us engage and get involved in the development of this nation, especially those of us who have the expertise and knowledge to transform this country. We invite all with open arms. We should not only use our knowledge and expertise to transform this country, but also to take collective leadership responsibilities to ensure that we put the interests of the Gambian lives first. The leadership of the United Democratic Party has been monitoring the progress on the COVID upsurge in this country. And being advised on the current situation, the UDP has taken the responsible decision to postpone its well-organized fundraising event until after the Christian Lent period and after the Muslim Ramadan. And we propose to reschedule to Saturday, May 22nd, inshallah. We take note of the government decision for a national lockdown from the 8th of March. I do not see any justification why this should be effected on March 8th. A UDP government would take a responsible decision to order an immediate lockdown and ask the government of the Gambia to do so now. There is no time to waste, and we cannot continue to be playing with the lives of the Gambian people just for some political expediency. We cannot afford to do that. And for this reason, I think it is right that the government should now really declare a shutdown immediately and no longer, and not wait any longer. Because as you wait longer, the more damage, the more the virus has the opportunity of spreading and spreading very extensively. In conclusion, I urge each and every one of us to sensitize and educate our offspring and their fellow brothers and sisters on our moral obligations as patriotic Gambians about our civic duty to make the right, honest, and ethical decision for the Gambia ever true. And that right, honest, and ethical decision would be a lockdown immediately, not later than the 20th of February this year. I wish all of you a blessed Independence Anniversary, and once again, I thank you very much.